The Bible is a collection of many books telling one unified story from the beginning to end. But all those books were written in different literary styles. Yeah, think of it like walking into a bookstore where every aisle has a different kinds of literature. There is a history or poetry or non-fiction, and when you choose an aisle and pick up a book, you are going to have a very different expectations, different things that you are looking for. Right? They are all literature, but they communicate in really different ways. Yes, and so the same thing is true for the Bible. If you don't pay attention to what style it's written in, you will miss out on the brilliance of each book. So, what are the main types of literature in the Bible? Well, first and foremost is narrative. It makes up a whopping 43% of the Bible. After this, poetry, which is 33% of the Bible. And then there is what you could call prose discourse, which makes up the remaining 24%. Nearly half of the Bible is narrative. Yes, and this is no accident. Stories are the most universal form of human communication. Our brains are actually hardwired to take information through stories. And stories are really enjoyable. Why is that? Well, stories train us to make sense of the seemingly random events that happens in life by taking those events and then putting them in a sequence, and then together you can start to see the meaning and purpose of it all. And what links this all together? Well, good stories always have a character who wants something, and then though these characters and author can explore life's big questions like who are we or what really important in life. And a good story always involves some kind of conflict, some challenge to overcome, just like in our own lives. And that forces us to think about our own challenges. Why there is so much pain or disappointment in the world, and then what can we do about it? And stories really end up with some kind of resolution, giving us hope for our own stories. Since these are Bible stories, are the characters showing me how should I live? Yeah, that's not a quiet point. Most biblical characters are deeply flawed. You should not be like them, but we are supposed to see ourselves in them, which helps us then see our lives and failures from the new perspective. And without even realizing it, these stories will start to mess up with you and change how you see the world and other people and yourself. Now, there are different types of narratives in the Bible. Yeah, there is a historical narrative, but also narrative parables, short biographical narratives like the four Gospels. We will look at all these in later videos. Okay? Next up is the poetry, which honestly some of you don't read a lot of. Yeah, But one of every 3 chapters in the Bible is poetry. Yeah, why so much poetry? Well, poems merely speak through dense creative language, linking together images to help us envision the world differently. Poems use a lot of metaphor to evoke your emotions and your imagination. A lot of fantasy language, but would not it be easier just to tell me what I need to know? Well, think about it. In life, we tend to form mental traps, and we think in these familiar, well-worn paths that are very hard to get out of through logic or reasoning. And what good poetry does is force you off the familiar paths into new territory. And there is a different types of poetry in the Bible. There is a lot of types of songs and psalms. There is a reflective poetry of wisdom books, and then the passionate resistance poetry of the prophets. Okay? The last big literary type is called prose discourse, and it makes up a quarter of the Bible. Yeah, those are the speeches, letters, or essays. And the focus here is building a sequence of ideas or thoughts into one linear argument that requires a logical response like, hey, you have thoughts about this thing, you should also consider how it connects to this other thing. And if you do, then you will see, and this is the result. And in the light of conclusion, therefore, you should probably stop doing that one thing so that this is the other thing will be outcome. So you are proceeding me with reason. Yeah, the discourse force you to think logically and consistently and then to do something about it. Biblical discourse is found in law collections, in wisdom literature, and the letters written by the apostles. Okay? So each book of the Bible has one literary style. No, actually, most books have a primarily literary style, like narrative, for example. But then embedded in the narrative, you will come across poems or parables or collection of laws. Every biblical book is a unique combination of literary styles. And to read that book well, I need to be familiar with each literary types and how it works. Yeah, so you know what to pay attention to and what questions you should ask. But before we look at each type, there is one more unifying features of the biblical literature that's really important and really cool, and that's what we will explore next. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this Bible mission video, The Light. Love you all. Thank you so much.